Car Habit Garage. My name's Eddie Mello, and on today's show, we're going to talk about the August 2021 E36 M3 market values. And so I'm going to show you the 6-month trend and the 1-year trend from August to August of 2020 to 2021. And then I'm going to show you the 6-month trend as well. And then along the way, I'm going to show you the 3 highest examples that sold for E36 M3s, and then show you the 2 lowest. And then show some really other cool cars that you can get and what price you can get for. So with that, let's go right into the data. First of all, big shout out to Classic.com. They're an aggregation site that provides phenomenal data. They get their data on car sales from Cars and Bids, Bring a Trailer, P-Cars, and about 15 other sources. Really great, can't say enough about them. Check them out, Classic.com. So with that, let's dive into data. Take a look at the slide I have up on the screen right now, and so you can kind of see that the average 12-month trailing average price was $20,260. There was a total of 80 listings. There was 63 that actually sold, which means it's a sell-through rate of 79%. Basically, those other 17 cars, either they didn't make a reserve or the buyer decided to back out, etc. And the highest sale was $45,000, and the lowest was $9,300. So that's a pretty big discrepancy, as we can see. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 6-month trend, because what I think you're going to want to see is that in the last 6 months, E36 M3 prices are up on average 12% or $3,000. The new average selling price is $23,086. And that's basically based on the same amount of volume if you cut it in half. 40 listings, 34 actual sales with an 85% sell-through rate. And once again, the lowest and the highest sale are encompassed in the 1-year numbers. But that's a giant increase, you know, and I don't know how much of this is related to COVID. Obviously, the used car market itself has been on fire for the last 12 months. And we've seen prices across the board go up, but no stranger, E36 values are up $3,000 just in the last 6 months for an average of $23,086. Now let's go and take a little bit different cut at the data. Let's take a look at the sales volume here. And as you can see on the slide, obviously it shows 94. We're not going to count those two, but if you look at the pure sales volumes, the 1995 model year actually has the most volume at 21 cars that were sold, followed by the 1999, which was 16. But in fact, 1996 cars were at a price of, there was 2, but they were only $21,000. But if you look at the prices, the 99s actually sold for the most at $23,156. And once again, these are just average prices, and it seems like the later model years actually go for more money, with the 1995 model years actually averaging around $18,468. But here's a little tidbit of trivia, and I'm not sure if people know this, but that there were 10,220 coupes sold in North America for the 1995 model year. And there was another 11,793 coupes that were sold for model years 96 through 99. So you almost had 50% of the volume that was actually sold in that first year was announced in the United States in 1995. So it only makes sense that there are more 95s for sale than there are pretty much any other model. You know, a little tidbit, so if you're looking, you're probably most likely going to find a 95. So let's kind of go down and take a look at the next couple of things. Let's take a look at the highest price car. And this car sold on Bring a Trailer, and the seller was a professional dealer. Goes by the handle of 1600 Veloce, and it based in New York. This car had 42,000. It was Titan Silver, or some people call it Titanium Silver. It sold on July 29th, 21. I mean, super clean car. It looked almost brand new. It was like 42,000, gray Napa leather. It had Style 23 contours on there. It had all the service records, and it was just really, really in good shape. So if you see it on Bring a Trailer, look it up. By the way, I got to give a big shout out to the seller of 1600 Veloce. He took a video that he displayed on the Bring a Trailer ad that had the interior noise and the exterior noise of the S52. And I'm telling you, just that sound, I think, really helps motivate buyers. I know it does for me. It's always great to hear the outside sound of the car and what it sounds like on the inside. In fact, I'm going to include a clip on the next slide so you guys can take a look at it right now. So here's a few seconds of sound. Now we're back. Let's take a look at the number 2 highest price sale. This was a Daytona Violet 1995 with 114,000 miles on it, and style 22 wheels. It had adjustable Coney shocks, cross-drilled rotors. It had quite a few accessories on there. It was extremely clean. The seller had done a great job of presenting it. I think even doing some respray. It had a .R panel on it, which usually means that that fender or whatever piece has .R on it was replaced. But the car was in good shape. It sold for good money, $34,250. That was on August 10th of this year, just a few days ago. And we obviously know Daytona Violet's different than Techno Violet. It's a very rare color. It was only 95 M car, so that could be a reason. But very sweet ride, and $34,250. Can't beat it. So let's go to another car that sold there, and this one sold for just about a year ago on August 18th, 2020. Another titanium silver. It sold for, it was a 1999 model. It sold for $34,000. It was the 3rd highest price sale overall that we saw. And this car was truly, had all the goodies on it. It had the Diamond supercharger, a Euro steering wheel, full custom aftermarket stereo, amplifier, subwoofer, and then had the European headlights, the ZKWs. It was really only 68,000 miles. I mean, the difference a year makes, I can't even imagine what this car would have gone for. I bet you it would have gone for $5,000 to $10,000 more had it been available for sale. It was a California car, no accidents, truly beautiful. Once again, it's a silver car. So with that, let's take a look at the next car that we have. Let's take a look at some of the other cars that we've seen here. Right now, we're looking at the lowest priced M3. This was sold for $9,300 on Cars and Bids. It was actually also out here in California. This car had over 200,000 miles. And, you know, just to kind of talk about the platforms between Bring a Trailer, P Cars, and Cars and Bids. I know Cars and Bids is fairly new. I think it's less than 2 years old. Their platform, I think, still needs to get a lot more users. I think Bring a Trailer has over 200,000 registered users of the site. So that's a lot of eyeballs to be looking if people are looking for a car. But anyway, this silver, it actually is pretty nice. The owner, you could tell, painted the black trim the same color as the car itself. You know, $9,300. I still, at this point in time, I think that's a great deal. It had a black interior. It was the right touch, but $9,300. So that's your bottom half. We saw the top, right? Which was the silver car with 43,000 miles. So a difference of 160,000 miles makes a lot, right? And in this case, it's 35 grand. So let's go to another car I wanted to show you here, which is the 1995 Alpine White, which sold for $11,550 on October 25th, 2020. Now this was a Gooding auction site, and I'm not sure what the volume is. Like, once again, I talked about Bring a Trailer, etc. But you know, this car looked immaculate. Talk about a car for a project car or swap. The interior and the exterior looked amazing. This looked like a bargain, but caveat, it was an automatic. So with that being said, you know, you can kind of see the highlights on it. It didn't have a reserve. They estimated it would go for 25 to 35. I think that automatic really kind of takes it out, but what a great buy for someone at that price for $11,550, because you know, if you do a tranny swap alone, you've got a great car, but if you're really looking for a project car, you could do so much more. Just truly incredible here. But that was Gooding, and once again, that could be just the platform not getting the eyeballs, and or maybe that automatic transmission probably did relate to the price. So let's take another look at one. This one was on BAT, right? And this was tied for the lowest place on BAT. It was $13,500, and that sold just a few months ago, April 1st. That's funny, April Fool's Day on 2021. And it had 163,000 miles. It was based in Austin, Texas. Had the Style 23 contour wheels. It did have the premium package, the executive package, which means you get the different front air dam grille. You also get the wood trim, and then you get some of the premium leather. And you don't get they don't come with Vader seats. So that could have been a detractor, but I wanted to give you guys kind of a perception that you saw two cars that were, sub $12,000. This one was considerable miles on it, and it sold for, 13,500 on Bring a Trailer. So we have that. So with that being said, you've now seen the three highest cars. You've now seen three cars that I think went really, really cheap over the last 12 months. Let's take a look at a couple of really nice cars that sold recently that I think are in really good shape. Look at this Dakar yellow. I actually had a conversation on the forums with the owner of this one, based in Tampa, Florida. It had 101,000 miles. Dakar yellow too, black leather, the Vader Sport seats, the contour wheels, sunroof. He had the Dynan suspension, Hotchkiss sway bars, the Dynan exhaust. He had the ZKW European style headlights, and all the service records dating back to 2000. So think about this. 1999, he was missing 1 year of service records when it was probably under warranty. It was under warranty at that point in time. And it had a clean Carfax report, so no accidents. It really looked amazing. Like if I was looking at a car, and that sold for $30,250, and that was back in July 23rd, 21 of this year. Truly nice specimen, but for $30,250, you're getting yourself that's pretty much top of the line with 100,000 miles on it. It's obviously not Concourse Edition because it doesn't have the low miles, but you're getting a very, very nice car that's had all the things that need to be replaced with maintenance on water pump, all the cooling systems, etc., and the suspension. It was dialed in. Let's take a look at this other one here, which I thought was really interesting. It's a 1999 Fern Green, and it sold for $28,150 on June 10th, 2021. It had heated Vader seats, black interior. It had the 1999, it had the full headrest, so it looked sharp. And it had also the European ZKW headlights. This one only had about 91,000 miles, and it was up in Washington, so it was a West Coast car. But it was truly beautiful. I don't think I'd ever seen a Fern Green. But, for $28,000, once again, you got a nice driver. So the guy had service records, clean Carfax report, and even some extra parts. So with that, you now kind of have an idea of what it's going to take. The average car was around, we said, was $23,000 for the last 6 months. I don't see that trend stopping. We're now seeing some crazy things. I mean, I saw there was an auction just a few days ago where the seller was kind of probably new, but didn't disclose, didn't have good pictures, and it looked like there was some rust, but that was never addressed. Right, no more pictures were ever given. And so it was crazy. The last 10 minutes of bidding were like just watching people go back and forth. That car sold for almost $24,000. And that just tells me that people are hungry for E36s in the market. And the sellers, you're going to get your money. Right now is a great time to sell. So with that, I'd like to actually kind of just bring you to my last slide. If you are really interested in buying an E36, please do your homework. There's plenty of E36 M3 buying guides that will tell you everything from the cooling system, what goes wrong with these cars, to glove box sag, to the door parts falling apart because BMW made them with biodegradable products. So you can see there's a few sites here. The BMW blog has a good one, Road and Track, Motor Trend, and then a GarageDreams.net also has a really nice buyer's guide. And then once again, Classic.com if you're looking for past data from all the different sites, and then register for Bring a Trailer and Cars and Bids, and keep a keen eye out and set your searches. And with that, I'd like to say thank you so much. If you like what you heard today and you want the video updates to come, and I will continue to do 6-month updates on the E36 marketplace, please smash the subscribe button. Thank you so much for all the comments, and I look forward. Have a great day.